Oh, here come the women.
Freedom! Happy Freedom Friday, children
Yes,
of the lawn.
happy Freedom Friday, children of the lawn. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday.
Yes, it's Friday.
It is Friday.
Oh, Don Booth in the house.
Don Booth in the
Haven't
house.
seen him in months.
Hey, Don Booth in the house.
Hey, Don, say hi to Karen.
Say hi to Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen Booth.
Hi, Karen. Hi. Hey, kids. How are we?
Karen posted a picture of a raccoon with its baby.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it.
You don't want me to tell my raccoon story, though, right?
What's that? Steve Campo, I'm a baby of the lawn. Yes, you are.
Well, that's the truth. That's the truth. And if anything that we can do to make you feel more childish, we're happy to do that.
Oh, thank you, Kitty.
No.
Kitty's starting a party.
Oh, starting that star party. It's been a crazy, crazy week for us. I mean, this has just been nuts. This week has been.
It could be worse.
Oh, it could be a lot worse. It's been a great week. But my alarm's going to go off telling me that I have to go stop something in the studio. So when that happens...
Are you multitasking during Freedom Friday?
Well, I have to... Oh, man.
You can't be doing that.
I see that Don Wershba is in the wings.
Oh, let's let Don in.
Oh,
thank you, Steve.
Oh, chew, because you are a superstar.
No, he's a baby.
Baby, yeah, super.
Thank you, baby Steve.
Mini super.
He's baby Steve.
Just don't drool on us, bro. That's all. Just
no puking.
No
drooling,
freaking no.
And no shitting your pants.
Well, unless it's from laughing.
Oh shit.
That's allowed.
No, I don't know about that. We're not changing your diaper. Maybe whoever's sitting next to you on that lawn will.
Who's next to him on the lawn? Let's go. We'll be
know.
right back. Let's go look at the lawn. Oh, well, he's in between Gail and Pat. So that would be, I think he's far enough away from everybody.
Well, Sue wants to know how much are 18,000 stars? $18.
$18. It's a penny a star.
See, that Steve said 50 cents. What's that? 5 cents. 50 stars.
Yeah,
that's 5 cents.
No. I thought it's a penny a star. I thought it's 50 cents.
Okay. Yes.
It's not 5 cents.
So,
yeah,
yes.
And they're paying $1,000.
Right.
So I wonder if Facebook's making any money.
I don't know. I don't know. It looks like it's a lot when you see somebody send 500 and it's like $5.
You know what? It's hey. Keep those stars and letters coming in.
That's
folks.
right.
It's, you know what, every little bit is good. We love it. It certainly pays for all these frickin' subscriptions. And
we're just having fun. We're not doing it for the money.
Yeah, we're not doing it, because if we were...
But we would like to cover the cost of all these subscriptions.
Okay, we don't want to talk about money Or
No, we don't, because here come the women.
here come the women.
Rasta in the house. Oh, Rasta's in the house.
Oh, Rasta's in the house. Well,
Everybody knows
Wellington.
Rasta was Steve's roadie.
Oh, look, Rasta.
Fives
Look.
key.
This is the original key from the original 7-piece 5 set that I bought back in the early 70s. This is the original key. And this is rock and roll show and tell, so, you know, I'm showing.
Yes, and
And
telling.
I'm telling. And, you know, it's funny because I have a good friend that has been a friend for, my God, as long as I can remember. It goes all the way back to when we were in elementary school. We went to kindergarten together. Her name is Janice. I'm not going to throw her under the bus in case you live near her. But she's the one that reminded me. She's the reason I actually came up with the name Rock and Roll Show and Tell, because she reminded me how we'd have show and tell. I'm sure some of you guys, if not all you guys, had show and tell in elementary school, and I always brought something.
Thank you, Lori.
Oh!
I can imagine you bringing something.
Really?
I probably could never figure out anything to show and tell about. So I probably didn't participate.
Did you have show and tell?
I've heard of it. I don't remember doing it.
I can't picture you showing or telling anybody
No.
anything except maybe to fuck
Fuck
off. Show and tell.
That's right. Show and tell. That would be me.
That's it. That's you. But see, there's something amazing that goes along with this.
Yes.
That is.
Something Rasta sent.
That is this.
Look at that.
This is.
50 years old.
Yeah, I think this is nuts. Well, 52 years old.
52.
Steve, is this older than you, Steve Campo? Were you born in 72? This was born, I think, in 71 or 72. And this...
He's 53.
Oh, so then... Wow. This is the baby.
Now, this drum
But
was full of rust
This
and
was a
crud,
hard-
and it looked like it should be out in the garbage bin, and Rasta restored
And
it.
man, it really is the center of my sound. I wonder what this is going to sound like.
Laurie said, it looks brand new. Yes, it
It's
does.
he did such a fantastic
He
job.
really
Listen,
did.
Rasta. Okay.
Okay, Steve
It's a little
Campbell
low.
was born in 70, and Tim McGowan was born in 74.
Ah. So then
Wow.
the drum is older than Tim
So
McGowan.
I was doing drugs before you were before you were born.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
I
I'm
know
tuning it
before
up,
you were
Rasta.
born,
You know, it's interesting because I wondered, Rasta, if you would tune it. Let me check it out. It's not on a stand.
Oh,
so
Sue
it's
wants to
up
know.
It's a little low, but
Sue
it's
wants to know how long it took to restore.
Yeah, Rasta, how long did you work on this, pal?
Ah,
Really, that long?
Well, he'll have to write. And Don Booth says that's what I need to make ring from. Oh, he makes jewelry.
Well, that's fiberglass, so don't be making any jewelry from that.
Yeah, and what are you gonna do? Like cut a piece of it off?
I mean, I have other ones that you
Oh,
can...
wait.
What?
Rasta did send like old parts
Yeah, he
from
said,
it.
yeah, but you don't. He doesn't want that.
It took 2 weeks, he said.
2 weeks?
Wow.
In
You're
Spain?
a wizard.
2 weeks in Spain? Ba, 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 da. I could do that.
2
you
weeks
know.
in Spain.
Let me show you how quick I could be on that. Maybe not.
Because you can't find it.
I could, oh,
Let's
really?
find it. Let's
I
see it.
can't find
Let's
it?
hear it.
Okay,
Rat Race
bitches.
doing 2 weeks in Spain.
Ah, you bitch.
Come on. You
Hang
didn't
on.
let poor
Gotta
Don
get to the
Worshman
right
in the
place.
room.
Oh, Don, yeah, I'm gonna let him in.
He's standing outside your door
Hang
ringing
on,
the bell.
hang on.
Saying, hey, I'm
2
here for the party.
weeks. Come on.
Laurie said, play it!
I'm trying. Yeah, I know, very trying. Okay,
Took the
so
words
let's
right out of
see.
my mouth.
Take the words out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? It's
Oh,
gotta
I
be.
told you you couldn't find it.
You did not
I
tell me
did.
that. You
Uh-huh.
told me that? Well, thanks a lot. 2 weeks.
In Spain. Who did that song?
Gentle Giant.
See, now this would have been a song when I went to see Rat Race
That she
before
would have
Steve
won.
and I were together.
She would have left.
No, well, I would have gone to the bathroom or to smoke a joint or something. But I would not have known if it was a Rat Race original or what, because I never listened to prog or fusion. So
Man, there was just so much
I did
crap
not
in
know who did what.
All right, hang in there. I gotta let Don in the room in a
I
second.
was forced to go to a Rush show in New Orleans.
Where is it? It's
I had a
gotta
great
be here.
light show at that show, but I just can't deal with that singer's voice.
I'm looking.
Yeah. I am stretching here.
Wow.
Stretch Armstrong in.
Stretching. You're stretching.
So Rasta,
Go
2
ahead, stretch.
weeks. Like, how did you get the rust off?
Yeah, how did you do that? Because
What
it's
parts
amazing.
did
I
you
mean, it
use?
looks like frickin' brand new.
Well, he said some of the time he was waiting for the parts from eBay.
Yeah.
but the shell of it you had to have cleaned up.
I don't know where this thing is. Now I'm upset.
Tim says, but I'm a grandpa. And
So,
baby
so am I,
says-
probably.
Baby Steve says, I'm not.
This
You are not a grandpa.
No, I'm not.
No, you
I'll tell you what I am. I'm lost as to where the hell this
He's
song
lost
is.
in space.
I am lost in space. Man, I can't find any of it. I can't even find.
2 weeks in Spain.
Oh, I know why. Wait a minute. I think because I'm looking in the wrong color. Ah, shit. There's Kevin Brenner. Well, we don't want that.
What?
Not a picture of Kevin.
Why would you have that there?
For a throwback Thursday.
Lori said, baby Steve C. Okay, with a baby bottle. That's you now, Steve. You're baby Steve C.
Man, this is really disturbing. I gotta tell
Where's
you.
Jewel tonight, Lori?
Yeah. I gave her the extra L.
Yeah.
Sounds like L.
What the hell, Jewel?
What the hell, Jewel?
We gave you 2 L's.
Why? Why? This is nuts. Because usually I search this and it comes
Let
right
poor
up.
Dawn worship in the room.
Let Don worship in the room?
Oh, okay. Rich used a buffing wheel and rubbing compound and various different types of chrome polish.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I tell you what, I for one am impressed. Because holy shit.
And let me tell you what,
it's
he
amazing.
packed it like, you see these kids in science class dropping the egg off of like a 12-story building, and they pack it like so good that it won't break. That's how much bubble wrap.
Yeah, I was
is
pretty
on that
impressed.
drum.
I have to send the DAP machine up to New York, so thanks for that.
Yeah, because we're gonna
I'm not gonna find
we're
this.
gonna recycle the bubble wrap.
Yes, we are. We're gonna recycle the bubble wrap. All right, so let's wait. We have. Where's our peoples? Here
Come
they
on, Rim Rim.
are. Here they come.
Come on, Ribby.
There's the booker. And there's the worshiper. I'm sorry.
Oh,
2
I
weeks in
thought I
Spain is
heard
in
it.
here. I promise. I just
Oh,
don't
you
know
know what?
where.
I'm over that already. Where's poor Dawn?
Hey, bro.
Hey,
Oh,
what's going
and she said he didn't trust
Don,
UPS. Hey,
Don has
Booker.
asked to unmute. Don's been here for a half hour and I still can't see him.
How's everything going?
Good. How about you?
Everything is going well.
Did you break 100,000 yet?
Not yet, no. It just
Ah.
it kind of froze at 60,000, and it did that for like almost a week.
Because they
And
don't want to pay you. That's why. Somebody probably monetized it and they said, "Oh no. We know you're calling your friends."
yeah, it started really moving the last few days though.
Well, I'll tell you what is good is I'm seeing the promo. There's a lot of promo that whoever is doing that isn't doing it for my new record, but whoever's doing it, man, it comes up on TikTok, it comes up on Instagram. It's Corey and Mike, I think, are doing them.
Yeah.
Awesome. And he's not too Italian, is he, Mike? I love Omerta.
Oh,
My boy,
What is that?
Omerta. What was that, the name of one of his records?
Yeah, that's the name of one of his records, yeah.
What does that word mean in Italian?
I have no idea.
Omerta?
Yes.
It's loyalty.
Woo,
It's like
Doc.
it's the I have an Italian heart. Other
Heart
parts of me
transplant?
other parts of me are Jewish, but and Eastern European, but I have an Italian heart.
We'll have to make you Don Wershbo.
No.
No?
Anything that ends in a vowel is qualified.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And you do have the A. That's good. And,
Now-
and if it's Italian, it's a fucking A.
It's a well, you know what they do, because I worked in Italy a few different times, and usually they will leave off the final vowel. Like we had a guy named Piero Pintucci who was the arranger, and when they would want him to come in and say, "Hey, Pintucci," you know, like what's the other one?
Corleone.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's very casual. It's very casual. I love Italy. I love everything about the Italians.
Yeah, no.
So then you would be
Yeah.
Luong.
No, yeah, Luong.
Wait, listen to it. We spent Thanksgiving with Steve's cousins down here, right?
Yeah.
Which
And
is
they
like, that's,
are-
you know, for the first time in 50 years.
Yes, right? So now Steve's father left when Steve was 2 and went to California.
See you, Dad. With
So
an
his
aching in his
mother
heart.
then was able to program him any way she wanted. And she said when he was old enough, you pronounce our last name Luongo. The U is silent.
I was.
Okay, so we're at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
No, actually, we were at Sidney and Byrne Davis.
Well, it doesn't matter where we were. My
Cousin
family
Debbie
was
was
there.
talking to Gail.
And they're talking about Luongo.
And Debbie said, we always said Luongo. How come you say Luongo? And because Steve's mother told him
The
the
U
U
is
is
silent.
silent.
I'll tell you what's silent. My mother.
Yeah. Yeah. But
How you doing,
now
Mousy?
Hi.
it's like, hey, Mousy. So
And my
now
mother
then-
actually does sleep with the fishes. It's true.
Oh my God.
It's very true.
She does.
Very true. She sleeps with the fishes. Very.
She wasn't murdered and thrown into the Hudson.
No, she was. No.
Her ashes were
No,
spread
we're scattered
in-
at sea. Her
Yes,
ashes were scattered at sea.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'll tell you the rest of that story when we're not on the air. Anyway, Mouse.
Hi.
Mousy. Wait,
How are ya?
Don, is that like a mascot behind you?
That's not a mascot. That's the mascot of the Yukon
Yukon
Huskies.
Huskies.
Oh.
Is it March Madness time or something?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but Steve, you know JD, right? John Dworko?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So JD is an avid sports fan. He got me into Manchester United and Premier League football, which I'm completely hooked on. And then when there's not a Manchester United game or a Premier League football, he's like, "Oh, you got to watch the Huskies. They're the #1 team in the country." Like, basketball. I watch one game. I'm in hook, line, and sinker.
Well, you
See,
gotta
that's how it
watch.
goes with college ball, especially the
What?
Huskies, man. They're the best.
Incredible
What you
team.
gotta watch,
That's
John.
Connecticut,
What
Yukon?
you gotta watch
Yeah.
is The Beckhams. Their
Oh
documentary.
God!
Mm.
You have to watch their
Holy
documentary. Oh
shit!
my God!
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's about David
Yeah,
Beckham, but she's in it.
It's just, I don't even want to
Did
ruin
you
it
see
for
the Super Bowl?
Yeah, did you
commercial?
see the Super Bowl commercial with them in
Which-
it? And he's saying, "Be honest."
And she's got a shirt
Be
on that said,
honest.
"My dad had a Rolls Royce."
No, that she didn't say that.
No, it was on her shirt.
Oh God, it's just
Oh
it's
God!
funny. It's
That
funny.
stuff that David Beckham went through. Oh my God!
Wow.
You
Did
would
he
never
go-
know it.
He went through some shit. That
Yes,
dude.
some shit.
And he was a Manchester United player, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yes,
big
he
time
was.
too. He's the one for all intents and purposes, invented the bend.
And
He's
they
the- you know,
turned against him.
And
And-
like Beckham.
Yeah.
They
Mm,
turned
mhm.
against him and like would scream shit the whole game and stuff. It was like crazy.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch that, because what I like about it actually is that it's there's women's football as well, but it's a gentleman's game. It's a gentle game, a gentle person's game. they're
What
somebody
are we talking about? We're talking about
soccer. Yeah, no, I mean
Oh, compared to rugby, compared
Yeah.
to NFL
forget-
football,
forget
Well, those
rugby.
guys have to tape their ears
even
down.
compared to NBA basketball. I mean, it's supposed to be a non-contact sport.
Yeah, I guess
I
that's. I
think
guess that's
golf
true.
and tennis maybe are gentlemen's games. I don't know about soccer.
Golf and
I mean, no,
tennis.
it's active and spirited, but if somebody gets knocked down, there's a concern. At the end of the game, you
Yeah.
all shake hands. It's and JD explained it to me. It's like, because you're watching all these English teams playing against each other intensely, they may be teammates when they're playing in the international games. So they all kind of know each other, and so
Oh,
it's a
so-
camaraderie. I just
Yeah.
think it's a decent game.
Yeah, but they try to fuck each other up. Watch that David Beckham thing.
Yeah, it's true
They
that
do.
there's a little bit of the genteel aspect missing from the Beckham story. Just saying.
Okay.
It's
I'll
a
have to
good
watch
watch. It's a good watch.
It is.
It's great. I mean, and he's
It's
funny.
called the Beckhams, I
Yeah,
think.
it's called the Beckhams.
Yeah.
All right, I'll check it out.
But
Oh,
the
it was
thing
really
about the
good.
Super Bowl commercial was they did when they did the documentary, she says, Victoria Beckham, aka Posh Spice,
David
says,
and I both grew up
yeah,
in
David and
humble
I
beginnings.
both working class families,
Humble beginnings.
and he says, be honest.
And he's peeking around the
be
corner.
honest.
and
He's sticking his head out from around the corner.
Be honest.
And she says,
said,
I am. What did your father drive you to school in? Oh, no, well, not. What? Be honest.
She said,
She said,
"But
oh, well,
there's
he had a
an
Rolls Royce.
An explanation.
So in the commercial, they're doing it was for Uber Eats or one of those things.
Yeah.
And they said that they were happy that Jessica Aniston was going to be in the commercial.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah,
love
no, okay,
Jessica.
yeah.
We love Jessica. It's like, holy shit.
Oh,
What's that?
I don't know.
Okay. I probably have to stop my dad. Hey, Don,
Yo,
do you have a DAT machine?
in fact, I have a DAT machine.
You're joking.
Does it work?
No, if I was joking, I'd say a horse walks into a bar and the bartender says, "Why the long face?" You set him up, I'm going to knock him out.
Oh, I guess you are. I guess you are.
Well, nobody seems to have them. Booker.
Yeah. Booker
said
sent me
one-
his Sony Portable.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it to work,
No?
and I have two
He-
DA30 Mark IIs that are both paperweights.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but you can get him for a song. And Steve, as a songwriter, on eBay, you can get there's good Sony professional machines. I bought one for like, I don't know, $200 or $300.
What?
Really?
I had to have my dear friend and a friend of the show, Fader is the man,
Yeah.
send me his Fostex.
Yeah, because
And-
we went to an equipment rental place
Yeah,
and
what-
brought it home and it was like
Dead.
broken. And we brought it back and they gave us another one, brought it home,
Dead.
and it ate part of his tape.
Yeah, what
I
happens
sold mine
is
about 15 years ago, and I
yeah,
sold
the
it for
rubber and the
$1,400 then.
rubber and the lubrications dry out, and if you don't have it, I there's a guy out on Long Island who's quite good with old machines, and like I have an old Otari 2-track machine, and it got all dried out and wasn't working, and he said, yeah, it has to be relubed and new rubber belts and stuff like that.
Speaking of relubed, here's Joe Castelli.
Speaking of
It would
relubed,
have been better if it was
Meanwhile, and maybe you guys. I
Purple
do.
Haze.
Purple
Haze.
Haze.
Right
That
through
is
my
the
brain.
best.
I
That
did
is
that.
the best.
That's for Booker because he reminded us all of it a few weeks
Close,
ago.
you bitch.
Purple
Close.
Haze, that's very
Yeah.
clever.
Close. But check.
That was the best one.
You guys are all with your vintage instruments. Oh, I got a 62 this bass and an
I
F.
saw that
But
earlier.
you did
Yeah.
Don.
You saw it, right?
For reference.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
Don might know this drum.
Don definitely knows this drum.
Oh, I
He's
saw
got
that. That's great.
My ears are still ringing from that drum.
Yeah, so,
It's 52 years
yeah,
old.
yeah, it's 52
And
years old.
Rasta, his
Beautiful.
roadie, He gave it to him, and it was all rusty and
It was, yeah, it was.
ready for the garbage bin, and Ross
He
restored
restored it,
it.
brought it back to life. Man, who was my roadie when you were working with us?
Josh.
Josh Reichelman.
Yeah,
with the
Josh.
black
Josh
Corvette.
Reichelman. That's
Josh had the black
no
Corvette.
blue Corvette.
He
Patsy
was
had the
very, he was very devoted to you. I remember
Oh
that.
yeah.
He was.
Oh,
And,
you got to tell the Josh story with
which
David
one?
Berkowitz.
Oh,
my
shit!
God.
This is a great. This is a perfect roadie story.
David Berkowitz.
Oh, we're we're idiots. We all had sports cars, all 2-seaters, right? I mean, you remember
The
Don,
band, yeah.
right? So you couldn't. We had CBs, and we would talk to each other as we're driving to work.
No cell phones at that time.
I mean, it's 1973, and so Josh finally saves up enough money to buy. I think he bought a '72 Bridgehampton blue Corvette with a white convertible top. And so we're coming. He said, "Every time you wash your car, doesn't it seem like it goes faster?" And I'm like, yeah, I guess. All right. So we're coming home from the 4.5 North in Brewster, and he's doing about 80, maybe 90. And I mean, he is ripping it. And we're coming down to the parkway, to the Taconic State Parkway, and we get pulled over by a state trooper. And this is right when Son of Sam just happened. And the cop says, well, Joshua, I see you're from Yonkers. Do you know David Berkowitz? And Josh goes, oh, sure, I know Dave.
And Steve was like,
I'm like, that's the
Steve
fucking
Luongo.
Son of Sam, man. Come on. And the cop, I mean, he figured this guy's going to be punished enough throughout his life. I'm going to let him go. And he let us go. But
I know Dave.
oh, sure, I know Dave. I mean, are you fucking what? So anyway, that was that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I told this story. When I worked at Media Sound, we had a receptionist. There was a reception desk right as you walked in because it was a church, and so there was a bit of a hallway, and you walked down, and there was a receptionist there.
I remember
And
it well.
he was a real wise guy. I can't remember his name, but he was a real piece of work. And we had an outside accountant who had to come in and do some auditing on the financials and stuff. So the first day he comes in, he's this mild-mannered guy, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. And he walks up and he says, hello, I'm David Berkowitz. I'm here to see Floretta in accounting. And without missing a beat, this guy goes, oh yeah, Son of Sam, she's waiting for you upstairs.
Oh.
we're sitting there were a bunch of pews, from the church that were out there, and I'm sitting there with my buddy. We just fell off our chairs.
We
Not
were
a good
playing at
time.
the Hamptons the night that he was going out there to shoot somebody with the machine gun. We were playing at I think Twisted Sister was at the Underground place, and we were at the Mad Hatter. And he was going out there the night that they caught him. You remember, he was on his way to the Hamptons or whatever. So
I was living in Long Island and was scared to death because I had brown
but he's
hair.
still looking for you.
Yeah.
So that snare drum is
Yeah.
fiberglass, but is it plated
Chrome.
with chrome? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a chrome. It's
painted
wrapped
or
with
wrapped?
chrome,
Wrapped with chrome.
but it's real metal. It's not like that fake stuff.
Jules in the house.
Jewel in the house. All right,
All right.
Jewel. Okay.
Now,
newest
Jules'
child
father
of
was
the
a
law.
Rares fan.
Yeah, which makes me feel like ancient.
You have baby Steve watching the show.
That's right. I got baby Steve watching the show. We
Wow.
So Mousy, my wires made you a little crazy.
Oh
huh?
my God. I hyperventilate over shit like that.
He said, I'm sending this to her. Look, there's a microphone stuck in
I
there.
know, it's just like a big tangle of wires. I was like, okay, just breathe.
Ah.
Just breathe.
Well, are you like a neat freak with everything or just
No,
wires?
just with my shit. Just with my equipment and stuff, just with my gear.
But you have to see me like with other musicians when they wrap their cables and they just wrap them around. This
Oh,
that drives me out
no.
of my
Yeah,
mind.
no, me too.
I take,
Me too. I
take them
have to
out
walk
of their
away.
I take them out of their hands. And if I loan them a cable, I tell them, do not wrap it.
Yeah.
Well, what happens when you wrap it?
Well, if you don't wrap it right, eventually
It breaks the ground.
It
Yeah, it
breaks the
breaks.
ground and they eventually turn into tangled messes. So every
Yeah.
time you take one out, it's like macrame that you have to like undo. So
Like Steve's pile of stuff, but those were not wrapped.
Well, Don, you remember? I'm sure you remember Wadney, Alan's
Oh.
ball of duct tape, because they used to duct tape all the cables down,
Yeah.
and then when they pull them up, there's duct tape. You know, the
Look
glue
at
is still
Don's
stuck
laughing.
on.
yeah.
Stuck, and yeah.
Wait,
So-
and
No,
they
we-
saved it and made a giant ball.
Well,
out of
Alan, yeah,
all-
Alan
every
saved-
Oh,
night
you
they
know
would-
what? We had that too with Impact and with Molly Crib. And then there got to be a race between the two bands. Because at the end of the night, we'd pull up all the duct tape, off the stages and stuff. And they'd keep adding it until it got to the point where these bouncers at one of the clubs asked us if they could like buy it from it because they wanted to work out with it. It was like- because they actually had to start rolling it up the ramp of the truck like it was that big, and it
Rat
weighed.
Racers
weighed a
wrote-
ton.
named it.
Yeah, well, ours was named Wadney.
Well, they called it Wadney.
They called it Wadney.
And
I was
replied to it.
leaving Glen Island Casino one night, and there used to be this part where you could park your car. We would park the truck there, and we would park all our cars there,
In the
so we
back,
weren't in the
yeah.
parking lot. It was really nicely set up. And I'm walking I come down the stairs because we were playing upstairs, and I'm walking out towards my car, and I hear this crying and sort of bemoaning sound
In the truck.
coming from the truck. And it's coming, the windows down, and we had our own truck at that time. You remember number 8 there, Don? Yeah, yeah. And I'm walking by, and I hear, oh, they don't understand. They hate me. I don't understand why they. I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? And I look in the window, and it's our sound man talking to the ball of tape.
Hey, whatever gets you through.
That was
Oh,
his Wilson.
Well,
Right.
Rostas-
Wilson, it was his Wilson, exactly.
Yeah.
Rostas says, Alan a day, a fine line between genius and insanity.
Oh yes, yes.
He was one of those people too
He
smart.
was
for-
way too smart. I
Yeah.
remember
Good.
we were playing Ubies. Anybody remember Ubies?
Ubies. Oh my God.
Ubies OTJ. We thought it stood for ovaries, jocks, and testicles. And
Oh my God, I haven't heard of that place in a million.
Ubies.
That hasn't crossed my
OTJ
mind in
would
a
be
million
Ubies.
years.
And we were just starting to happen. It was like 70s. It was 74. And we were just really starting to really come into it, right? And so Al Hubert books like 2 months of Thursdays, right? With Kevin Brenner.
Oh, is he the owner of
Yeah.
Ubies?
Yeah. Good guess.
Where was Ubies? On Long
It
Island?
was in
New Jersey? Long
no,
Island?
it was Long Island, but
No, it's Long Island. Somewhere,
East Meadow, I think.
I was going to say somewhere past Baldwin.
Yeah. Oh, definitely past Baldwin, but I think it was East Meadow, but I whatever. And the dressing room, if you remember, I'm sure Mousy was right off the stage, right? I mean,
Yeah.
And
Most of them were.
but this was.
No, like right off the stage. Like you could
Yeah.
walk off the stage to the dressing
Alan-
room without having to get down and go around.
Alan was the kind of guy that would not put
East Islip TV said.
what? Oh, East Iceland. Thank you,
Yeah.
TJ. That's where I met you, bro.
At
Yeah.
Ubies?
We used to park our Corvettes out in the back together. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, and so it's the first night, and Al's all excited. He's got this band, and we're there for 2 months, and he's guys, can I get you anything, and this and that and the other thing. And Alan, if you remember, Don, if you put not a grill cloth, but like wire, like chicken wire, in front of the Gauss speakers so that people wouldn't poke holes in them, he said it changed the sound. Now, I'm sure that in some universe it did. But
He He could hear it.
He could hear it, and there was an argument going on, and all of a sudden, I'm outside the dressing room, and I'm talking to Al Hubert, and he said, "Oh, guys, thanks so much. We're gonna have a great run here," and this, and he's all happy. And I start hearing this like bang, 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 bang. And I open the door, and Alan
It's okay, Remy.
has a folding metal chair, and he's banging himself in the head with it, going, "I want to die! I want to die! I want to die!" And he's banging, and Al Hubert's looking through the door, and the thing's going clang, clang, clang. And so I go up behind Alan, being a half a foot taller than he is, and I grab him around like this, and I get it in the head. And it was like, now I'm bleeding, and it's just...
The Three Stooges.
Oh, man.
That was your introduction to you?
Yeah, that was that. That was
Al's
night
introduction?
one, yeah. He
Oh,
never came back to the dressing room after that. And I remember when we first started playing there, it was so dead that I used to have headphones. I wore my headphones all the time, but I had ski goggles on. And the 12 people that were in the audience, for the first night, they're laughing because they come out with their headphones and the ski goggles on. I said, "I know you're laughing." I said, "But inside these headphones is the applause of 12,000 people with a picture of them on the inside of my goggles." I mean, we were just...
You were like in the metaverse.
Oh, yeah, I was in the metaverse. I was. It was my Oculus.
Before that was even a word. You're saying so in some universe about the speaker and the sound. I was watching the other night when Neil Tyson deGrasse
Oh, yeah.
Tyson, whatever. Okay, was on Colbert, and Stephen Colbert was saying how much he loves the movie Dune. And,
I just saw that.
No, we
and,
haven't seen the new one.
Neil is going insane. He's like, "You understand, none of this is possible." And he's like, "Don't ruin it for me." He's like, "You understand, if people wanted sound to carry, sand would be the last medium that it could carry through." And Stephen Cole, they were like literally like getting really feisty about it because he's like, "Why are you ruining this for me?" He's like, he goes, "I'm trying not to say too much, but I love him because he's just like."
We watched the
Neil,
first
Neil,
Dune.
do you really have any idea how sensitive the worms are to sound? I mean, come on, bro.
The
Really.
sandworms, yeah.
I'll tell you something. This is funny.
And it's science fiction.
Right. And we don't live there anyway, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's science fiction. That's right.
Well, okay. I mean, do I have to? Let's see. Is it really science? Is it science?
Things from science
Is
fiction?
it science fiction?
Absolutely.
I'll have to check.
Godzilla not real.
Is it science fiction, Scotty? Scotty, is it science fiction?
Look who I saw last night.
Oh, 50th anniversary. How was that?
Byro Gyra. You saw my boy Lionel Cordew on drums.
Oh.
He's a fucking monster, man. He is a monster.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
played with Ray Gomez.
Yeah, Ray's. He's.
Gerardo used to be in that
Yeah,
band.
Gerardo played with them.
Velez.
Yeah.
He was just. It's so funny because you know what? I think of like different sounds and like different terms than other people do. And I'll say like, "Oh my God, that's so yummy," or whatever. And I turn to the guy next to me, who of course thought I was insane. And I go, "That kick drum is everything." And he goes to me, "It's delicious." And that was the word that was in my head.
Wow.
Delicious kick
What
drum.
are the odds of that?
That's the name of my
It was,
new album.
it was so good. But I have to tell you, with Lorber, and Jeff Lorber was playing equally good, but his bassist, and he was a monster bassist player. I can't remember the guy's name.
He didn't have Jimmy Haslett with him?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did have
Jimmy
Jimmy with him. His bass sounded so horrible. So I
Really?
Sounded terrible. He was playing great, but the sound was so. And I turned to a friend of mine who was with me, who happened to be a bass player. In between the acts, and I turned to this guy Joe Howell. You know Joe Castelli, Joe Howell?
I don't think so.
Okay, so he plays in Gary's band, but he's a really good bassist. And I turned to him and I said, "I'm trying not to nitpick." I said to him, but I said the bass was I said, I wish there was more definition to the bass. And he turns to me, he goes, it was muddy as fuck. So I go, all right, I guess I was trying to hold back a little bit.
He was opening. Jeff
Lorber
Lorber was
opened for
opening.
Spyro, yeah.
Now, I remember going to see, my wife took me to see the singer Maxwell at Nassau Coliseum, and there were 2 acts before, Anthony Hamilton and a singer named Joe, right? All had real bands, and they all played, right? I couldn't hear, we were on the floor. I couldn't tell you what the bass player was playing until Maxwell came on.
Really? Yeah. That drives me insane.
Yeah.
It's like the bottom of the house is missing, so
Yeah.
and I could tell, I mean, I'm watching him and I'm seeing what he's playing, and I'm hearing like the tones, but there was just no definition.
And it's Jimmy Haslett.
Yeah.
Oh, Yellow Jackets, Jimmy Haslett.
Yeah, from Yellow Jackets, exactly.
Gino Vanelli, Jimmy Haslett.
Oh, he played with Gino? Wow.
He played with Gino too, yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
No,
but
he's
all in
a
all, it was an amazing show. And I have to tell you, the people that go to see Spyro Gyra have, one woman was there last night and she's like, yeah, we've seen them 40 times. Like the people, they're up there, they're clapping, like to the beats of the songs in the like they knew every song that they were playing. I mean, you got to give it to them, man. They're still banging it out, and they are still pristine. They were really good. So
wow,
that was a good show. Except
and Julio Fernandez, wasn't he playing there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so good.
Yeah, he's a great player. I used to play with him a lot in New York. At the China Club.
He's from Hoboken.
Yeah, it was always fun to play with.
He came from Cuba and then moved to Hoboken. His parents brought him to Hoboken. He was raised in Hoboken, New Jersey.
There's a culture shock for you.
Yeah, right. So, but and the song that he sang, his voice, I mean, everything. He seems. I saw them maybe 15 years ago, and he seems younger to me now than he did 15 years ago when I saw him play with them.
Better drugs.
Looks better?
He looks better. I don't know. He just was real, like fluid on stage and just jumping around and whatever. But the first time I saw Jeff Lorber was so long ago. Do you remember Grover and Margaret and Zazu Zaz, Jeff?
Yeah.
I mean, Steve, you remember those guys? Okay, so Margaret was singing with this band, Hamilton Splat, which was a jazz band. And they were opening for Jeff Lorber. I want to say at Fountain Casino, but someplace down in South Jersey, someplace like that. And Kenny G probably was 19 years old at the time, and he was the sax player in Lorber's band.
Yes, was.
And I remember turning to Michael and saying, that little kid is a motherfucker, saxophone. And then years later, here comes Kenny G. And I said, I think that might be the guy who was with Jeff Lorber. And I looked on an old cassette tape, a Lorber cassette tape we had, and sure enough, it was Kenny Gorelick. And I was like, oh crap. Now my kid comes into the living room and he goes, oh God, Mom, he goes, I can't even, I go, what's the matter? He goes, something just scared the hell out of me. I said, what? He goes, I saw a Kenny G tape on the kitchen table.
That's funny. Larry, my bass, not you, Angus. Angus has got the night off. He's
Dr. Hobbs.
Yeah, but Larry, Dr. Hobbs, his son is collecting vinyl, right?
Yeah, his 25-year-old son.
Yeah, no, it's the younger one, isn't it?
He's 22.
Oh, okay. Anyway, he's collecting vinyl now. In the little hurricane skirmish that we had a year or so ago, my whole frickin' vinyl collection got just wiped. Right, all of the covers of everything are just gone.
Well, because they were like in a rubber.
Yeah, because they were in a shed, and the shed it was a nightmare.
Yeah, it got destroyed.
And so all of the album covers are just gone. Right, but I said to Larry, I think the vinyl's still good. Would Pierce that collects them?
Yes,
yeah.
Pierce.
Would Pierce like to ask him if he wants the vinyl? And Larry calls me up and he's laughing and he goes, Blood Rock? Really? Blood Rock? It's like, wow. I
Oh,
said, keep
man.
going, man. There's like some Brazil
He
66 in
said
there.
the
There's-
kid cleaned them all up and
Cleaned
got
them all
plastic
and got a,
sleeves
you know,
for them.
he's got a turntable and all this, you know, and he's in it, man. So
I
Wow.
heard
Steve,
DOA.
Steve, Angus did the first time that I was on with you in 2020, right?
yeah.
And the funniest thing I took away from that was when I asked about Lenny and your response to me. I'm not going to tell you anything else about Lenny. Just come back Friday.
Now you know what.
Now you know. The more you know.
why.
Because he's
That's-
indescribable.
It
Yeah.
He is indescribable. And I'm so glad that I never knew him back in the Good Rats days, because I don't know that we would be friends now. You know what I mean? Because that was a pretty toxic band. Because it was another
Too
rat
many
band.
obstacles in the way there.
Yeah. And I love Lenny. I really, truly do love Lenny.
Yeah.
It just,
How can you not love Lenny?
Well, yeah, you
Oh,
got
he's the best. He's the best.
Yeah.
That might be the reason why he left the band too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
he
yeah.
left because of Peppy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you, I kind of knew Joe Franco because we were both teaching at the same time, but I never really knew anybody. I knew John the Cat, Gatto, but I never really knew those guys. If we played on the same bill, and I had never ever said 3 words to Peppy ever in the world, and we were doing this reunion at Speaks in '97, and they're in the dressing room. And he said, "Oh, Steve Luongo, Frankie told me some stories about you. I understand my reputation as the biggest asshole in Long Island is in jeopardy." And I said, "Don't worry, Peppy. Your
intact.
reputation is not in jeopardy." That's the sum total of the words.
And he had never met him before.
Yeah, I had never met him before.
Wow, that was your introduction
That was
to Peppy?
that was his introduction to you, huh?
Yeah. Hey, Steve.
Wow.
I understand you're putting my reputation as the biggest asshole on Long Island in jeopardy. I said,
So Steve had to hit one back
in
over
no
the
jeopardy, pal. Boom, no jeopardy.
You know what? They hated Molly Cribb, and I'll tell you why. Back in the early days of Molly Cribb, when we were just coming up, they were already the Good Rats. I mean, everybody knew they had stuff on the radio or whatever.
Yep.
So Trenton State College, which is now like the State College of New Jersey or something, Molly Cribb used to play like at the pubs and stuff all the time. You remember those days of playing the college, gigs. So
Beth Skeller and all that crap.
Exactly. So they booked the Good Rats to play in the big auditorium, which was huge. I mean, it was like, a concert hall. And they had us open for them.
Oh.
So we opened for them. Oh, and at the time I was an LD. And I remember the lights, so they came up. I was up in the lighting booth and, I had my headset on, and the guy comes up, their lighting guy, and he goes, "All right." He goes, "You can't use this light. You can't use this. Oh, definitely not that. And not those." So I goes, "Okay." I go, like, "What can I use?" And he goes, "Well, you can hit this channel and this channel." I was like, "Okay, I'll just do whatever I can." So Molly Cribb, of course, everybody knows all the songs. They're up there singing and stuff. And then there was an intermission and everybody left. The place was sold out. And everybody left afterwards because they didn't know the Good Rats. They were, like on the, yeah. So they hated us after that. They hated us.
Wow.
So, yeah. But I have to say, when Molly Cribb got their asses kicked and they did a big benefit for us, they played.
Well, that's cool. We were actually talking about that the other night, that thing that happened to you guys. I can't remember who we were talking to.
Oh, yeah. About our hairdresser, Valentino.
Oh,
Because we were talking about mob stories, and then we said,
yeah.
What about Lenny?
We're talking about
the crowbar.
Valentino is very Italian. He's he even drives an Alfa Romeo. Julia.
And he has a house in Italy that he goes to in the fall, and he's got the accent. But he lived in New York. He lived in Brooklyn, I think.
Yeah.
And
hard to believe. I didn't think there were any Italians in Brooklyn.
No. They got rid of him.
So he's like from Italy.
Yeah,
What happened to your band?
We were leaving an agent who was not doing right by the band. That's the only thing I can say. He would just book us in places we said we didn't want to play. He would book us in places for less money than anybody else would be paying us. People would come to us and say, "Oh, we wanted you guys, but we're told you weren't available." And we were like, "Well, no, we're available." And so we went to a lawyer and we said, "Can we get out of this contract?" And we went over everything and he said, "Absolutely, you can." So they sent him a letter saying, as of November 1st, whatever the year was, Molly Cribb will no longer be, working with your agency. And that night of November 1st, we were getting ready to go on at a club, and a bunch of goons came through the back door and basically beat the shit out of my brother-in-law, the bass player, and me, who was in the dressing room at the time, like an idiot trying to stop him, what I don't know. And while that was going on out in the club, all these people were on stage with crowbars, just, smashing everything that
Doing
they
the
could.
equipment.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flipped my husband's CP70 off the stage, like a 6-foot stage, and just smashed on, to the ground, and crowbars, everything. So, eventually they caught up with all the people because they were so stupid to use people that were like bouncers from local bars where we all played and things, and
Duh.
and so.
Did that.
But
Yeah.
but it was absolutely scary because back in that time, Don, the bands were making tons of money for the agents, not for themselves, but the band, because there were so many bands and there were so many clubs and they were so competitive, the agents, that it got into the war zone. And we weren't such a big band at the time, but he did have a lot of bigger bands. So, the Watch and whoever else. I don't know if I think he had White Tiger and.
Right, Godspeed, right? Jeff's band. Yeah.
And so it was kind of a warning to his other people.
A warning.
Yeah, like, because at one point he did, it was actually brought up in the trial that they asked him, they said, "Did you not smack Teresa?" for Terry, the singer from the Watch, and say to her, "You better watch out. You know what happened to Molly Cribb."
Wow.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
That's
it was not. And dude, I was like maybe 19, 20 years old at the time. I was on crutches for like 2 weeks. My ribs were broken. It was insane. I come home and my mother's just like, "I told you, you need to become a teacher or nurse. This is no job for you."
That's before school shootings.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah, not the best vocation these days.
Okay, one of our children of the lawn, his name is Baby Steve.
Baby Steve, because
Steve
he's
Campbell,
in his 50s.
Okay, he says he became a cop because of people like that.
Well, thanks, Steve.
Yeah, a little late there, bud.
No, hey, whatever though, going forward, protecting anybody
right.
that can, that needs it is a good thing.
What club was it? Was it the China Club? Where was it?
It was the China Club up in, it was the China Club.
It was the China Club, like in Orangeburg or somewhere around there.
No, it was eventually he changed the name to the China Club. At the time it was called Traces.
Traces.
The China Club?
No, Traces.
Yeah, but you said
and that was like up in like the northeast corner
Hillsdale.
of New Jersey, right?
Yeah, it was in
China
Hillsdale.
Club you're thinking of.
No, but you can name another China Club.
Yeah, no, eventually he changed the name of that club, Traces, to the China Club too, and it stayed the China Club for a bunch of years after until it closed.
Well, just to leave violence behind for a minute, I'll tell you.
That would be good.
I don't want to I don't want to break the Jersey vibe. But
don't make us come down there.
Don't make me come over there. Back in the day, and Don, you probably remember this, we used to go to the Temple of Enlightenment and meditate with the Grand Master from the direct descendant of the Shaolin temples, right? And over the years, I've kept up the practices, and I did, the whole. I went through the whole thing. I even, as a matter of fact, this is my name in Chinese. But
where?
on the
That
little
green
screen.
thing?
Yeah, that green thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is it my name too?
Well, the second part is. Yeah. Anyway, so I decided, I really, there's such great stuff on YouTube, and I sleep like textbook. I piss people off that can't sleep.
Since he got his CPAP.
And I mean, I am just floating on a cloud, right? But I started to just not have good night's sleep, and I said, I really should listen to some of the Buddha Gautama, and some of the teachings and stuff. And there's this great channel on YouTube where it's a lady with a really beautiful, calm voice, AI, and and she's reading all the stuff. And I know all this stuff. I sat for years, not once a week, but for years, studying it. Right. So, and the only thing about it is, the volume is very, very low, and they're about a half hour long. Some of them are like 40 minutes long. But I have to, if I watch it on my television, I have to turn the television up to 100 just to be able to really hear it.
And
right?
then if a commercial
And so, so I decide that I'm going to listen to this in back. Put my earbuds in, right, and I'm listening, and it's mindfulness and the flow, everything is this, and you want to be this and that and the other thing, and all of a sudden, a commercial comes on, and it's
and he's got his earbuds in, trying to fall asleep to this.
Holy shit! And I'm just about, I'm like right about there, and all of a sudden it's, you can get a car. Oh man. Scared
Singing the Ozempic song.
Oh, the Ozempic song.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
Oh, it's on here too.
Ozempic.
Is that the one? I thought something else drove you nuts.
The lady.
Oh, well, the Jardians lady who's dancing.
Oh, right.
Hey, there's a new Jardiance lady, if you haven't noticed.
I did notice because it's embedded in my brain. But
We haven't seen it.
all of us here on the screen tonight are from the same area, except for you, Steve. But it's Shen Yun season here.
Oh yes,
dude, I can't with those commercials. So Shen Yun is Chinese acrobats or Japanese or something, okay? And they perform at like Nassau Coliseum and wherever, all over.
Yeah.
So like they'll play at Prudential Center in New Jersey. So they're in the area until at least April something.
I thought they never left.
It really doesn't
Well,
ever.
hang on a
The
sec.
commercials are on
Those
television.
acrobats?
Steve,
Yes,
I have a question
It's
for
China.
Steve.
It's China before communism.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
I've seen, so I have to ask a question. I noticed when it first came on, they said this was being streamed. Is that true?
Yes.
Then I have nothing further to say about Shen Yun.
Shen Yun.
I had a professional business experience, and all I could say is it was very interesting. They had their place is up,
And the commercials are just relentless.
it's mid-state New York. They have a compound there.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
So they never go back across the ocean, huh?
They're not allowed. They won't have them back.
All I can say is they are very security minded.
Okay.
Well, I see we have a premature pasteurization here.
Well, it's 3 minutes to 8, and I know Booker's got to go to work.
Okay, no, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I am ready. Check. Don, you may get a kick out of this.
Go for it. The one and only son by Sal Raynon.
Right. That in 1970, you've heard. I don't know if you've heard me tell the story about Jimi Hendrix and when I thought Jimmy was dead and he asked me to come. This is that session.
Wow.
And it's the first release that Rat Race played behind this guy. We traded him at CBS for studio time.
Right.
And I mean, this song is. When I saw that the record actually exists,
Wait.
I have to buy one. I have to
my
find
one
it.
and only
My
son. He's dead or
son,
something.
my one and only son,
There's Larry's
he
playing.
went away. And it's like a Vietnam song, and
Steve looked it up on eBay and it's like $700.
like $700 for this frickin' thing, right? I mean, I don't want it that bad.
Oh
Somebody
my
can make
gosh.
me a cake.
And they didn't get credit.
But it was, we didn't get any credit.
Oh,
But this is the ironic part of it. On this day, I mean, it's 1970. We're recording at CBS Studio. It's unbelievable, right? And the Rascals we're in Studio A. The Rascals are finishing their session, right? And I mean, I love the Rascals. I was a huge Rascals fan, and blah blah blah. And Edgar Winter was cutting white trash up at Studio E, and I've told all these stories.
Yeah.
But some years later, I became friendly with Gene Cornish, and I said, Gene, man, do you remember recording at CBS in 1970? Blah, blah, blah. He said, yeah, Steve. You want to know why? That was the day we broke up.
So thanks for the memory.
So thanks for the memory. So that's my.
Yeah.
Well, on the topic of recording sessions, because we spoke recently, I sent you something, and you said perhaps you've forgotten what we sounded like, because there was some band that.
Oh, you sent me the thing that you thought sounded like Skeletron?
No, well, it was a Pythagoras, right?
Yeah, but it didn't sound like that.
Yeah, but you said Skeletron. I think.
I could not for the life of me find the sessions. I know that we did Pythagoras at what I don't know which.
Yeah, oh, believe me, that I can find.
Oh, okay, very good.
Yeah, no,
Now,
that I can find.
speaking of things that crept out of the woodwork, I found a recording that I made, Joe, with your background, it's relevant. 1970 of The Who playing their full set, including all of Tommy.
Whoa.
And I ran it through Logic Pro and tarted it up a little bit, mastered it,
Nice
And
of you.
my God, were they amazing. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, here, is this what you remember, Don? I think this is it. If it'll play.
Yeah, watch this be 2 boots.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yep.
See, that I can find.
Those were those the media sessions or someplace else?
I think that is. Now, Booker, have a great show,
Yes,
brother.
Booker.
Yeah, I might not be in next week. I think I have something early, but I'll let you know either way. But
You will be missed.
Yeah, you will
You'll
be missed,
be
but
here
you
in
will be
spirit,
listened
right,
to
Yeah.
thank you.
We listen to your video every day.
every day.
Me too. I share
Thank
it.
you
I
very
listen.
And we vote for oatmeal every day.
Watch another story. Have a great gig, bro. Say hello to Arthur.
Take care,
Be
Bob.
safe out there, Booker. God,
So
did
this
you
is
guys?
two years before you did that session on the same day, 68, the opening of the Fillmore East, the first bill, Janis Joplin. This photo here, if you pull it up on the internet, photo by Linda Eastman.
Oh,
Wow.
And so that's the first night of the Fillmore East. It was the Village Theater before that, but first night, official night with this guy, Bill Graham.
Yeah. He managed Eddie Money. He was
Yeah.
Well,
Eddie's
but,
manager.
the guys I know from the Reuben News, John Cunaberti and Dan Alexander, they were in Eddie Money's original band.
Ah.
So Eddie Mahoney.
Yeah. So they're still pissed.
Eddie was a cop.
Yep, from Massapequa.
Yeah.
And then he learned how to cop.
I mean,
Massapequa.
Go ahead, let it out.
no, well, I mean, John Cunaberti was a drummer and still a drummer. He's an incredible producer. He does a series called the One Mic series, where the whole recording is one mic. He also invented the reamp box. So the JC reamp box by Radial is John Cunaberti. And, and Dan Alexander has, I mean, they both still play sometimes, but Dan sells vintage gear, consoles, microphones, all of that.
No,
you mean the stuff I'm used to.
He was the guy who scared the shit out of everybody at the media sound auction because he had some client either in Europe or Japan who had given him the instructions and said, just whatever it is, just get it, because we had all Pultecs and Teletronics limiters and stuff. And so they're bidding up the Pultecs because I was bidding for Clear Mountain because he couldn't make it. And he said, don't go over $500. And I'm like, okay, fine. So you get the $500 and somebody goes 550. And then Dan Alexander at one point goes 3,500. And everybody looks around and goes, what? And he does the same thing on the next one. And after a while, people just gave up because they knew that no matter what they did, Dan was going to outbid them.
Right.
And
that's kind of what happened with Entwistle's guitar collection at Sotheby's.
Yeah.
Oh man, and the stuff that he had like the number 3 Flying V, number 3, and the number 2 Explorer.
I have the book. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, crazy. And Jimmy Page, I think, bought the Flying V, and Eddie Vedder bought the other one. Craziness. Crazy.
I know. Did anybody watch the Mark Knopfler auction?
No.
No.
Did anybody bid on the Mark Knopfler auction?
Oh, yes, indeed.
He's like the Jesus to some people.
Jesus.
He did a 59 burst that went for a little over $500,000.
Oh,
wow.
God.
And he's donating this money to a good cause, right?
Yeah, the Mark Knopfler Foundation.
The human
MKF.
fund.
I heard he was donating it to like.
No, he is. Clapton did the same thing with Blackie.
Yeah, and for his.
For Crossroads. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Crossroads.
And that thing, and they had that. Somebody told me this story about them having actual Blackie at Guitar Center.
Yeah.
So that they could copy it. He let them copy it and do reissues of it.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know they didn't sneak one in.
No, I mean, Guitar Center bought Blackie, and then Fender, whatever arrangement they made, they did make copies of it. And I'm sure they were good. I mean, Fender's making really good guitars these days.
I have a Strat. This is just this is one of my fun stories, and then I'm getting the dinner bell. We were down here. We used to come here on vacation. I'd get off a tour, and John would go to Jamaica or Cabo, and we'd come down here to Sanibel. And I remember one year I didn't bring a guitar. I said, I really need to get a guitar. I need to play. I need to do a little writing. We were down here for like a month or whatever it was. So we went to Guitar Center. There's a nice Guitar Center here. And I should show it to you, but I won't. I'll do it another time. And there's this purple Stratocaster, but like a Remy Martin bottle has that frosted look to it.
Oh yeah.
Well, they made them in red, they made them in purple, and they made them in green, which the green looked like a Remy Martin bottle, but the purple is just this frosted purple. And I said, I gotta have that. I don't care. And the guy says, $100.
What?
And I said, what? And he said, well, it's a Mexican Strat. And I said, really? I mean, I'm playing it. It doesn't feel like a Mexican Strat. And I said, $100 is not even a question. Give it to me. And so a couple of years later, Mark Weber, who used to guitar tech for us, was down.
He also owned a music store.
Yeah, he owned a music store. And he sees the guitar and he goes, holy shit, you have one of those? And I said, what do you mean I have one of those? What do you mean?
It's a Mexican Strat.
I said, it's a Mexican Strat. He said, no, it's not. I said, what do you mean, no, it's not? He said, they showed those at NAMM in whatever year it was in the 3 finishes, right? And it was Mexican Strats, supposed to be Mexican Strats. But the factory that was making them burned down, and they had to fill all the orders with American Strats. With
wow, cool.
And it's like,
wow.
And I
Yeah.
said, I remember saying to Mark, "You would know if this is an American Strat." He said, "This is an American Strat," and I love it. It's just gorgeous. It's very Hendrix-esque with
Yeah.
purple. And I got a purple scratch. It had a black scratch plate on it, but I got the purple, scratch plate. They're
Yeah.
freaking. I
Well,
love
you're gonna need a purple Marshall stack now to go along with that.
Yeah, and then I'll need a home to live in when I plug it in.
I
Yeah.
know.
And somebody to play it on stage.
Because I mean, look, I can write on the thing and I can play, but
But he's a drummer.
Yeah, I hear you're pretty good at a different instrument, but
Different instrument.
anyway, I have to go old school on my pasture because I always come unprepared. But I did, if this shows up.
Wow!
Oh,
Look
The
at
Who,
you.
Chuck Berry, Albert King. Wow, nice.
Wow.
I don't
Nice.
think I was at this show because all I remember when I saw the Who, the first time I saw them, it was Sweetwater, It's a Beautiful Day, and the Who.
Oh,
And that and that
Oh,
was
Oh, it's like Jimi
that
Hendrix
was-
and the Monkees.
Oh my
I-
God.
well, I saw Hendrix, but who opened for him was the Soft Machine,
Oh.
and they got booed off the stage. All I remember is they played a song which had 2 notes in it and went on for about 20 minutes.
Let me tell you, whoever dropped acid before they went to that show had a very bad trip if they were going to see the Who, and It's a Beautiful Day was
Oh, my
opening up.
God.
You go from Whitebird to
Right?
Summertime
or
Blues.
Don and Dewey, like that goes on for 45 minutes of
That
Don and
happened to
Dewey.
me. I used to just go to see any concert at the warehouse. It was $3, and so my friends and I dropped some acid, and there's some guy playing an acoustic guitar, and we're like, okay, this is good. And then all of a sudden, It's a Beautiful Day comes on, and it's like, White Bird. I was like, oh my God, get me out of here now. So I can't imagine the Who with that.
It didn't go well. It didn't
No,
go well.
I'm sure it didn't.
But the other shows that I remember seeing the Who, it was just the Who. So I don't think I was at this show. But yeah, my first Who show was May '69, Fillmore East, and it was the makeup show, 4 p.m. Because they'd had the fire.
The Fire Show.
Yeah.
The fire show.
Oh.
And I just I think I've mentioned before, I'm sure Bill Graham sold the house out twice because he said, who's gonna come back? Are they really all gonna come back? Sell some more tickets.
Yeah.
And I had a great seat, and it changed my life.
Well, here, let me. Then you'll appreciate this because this is the album that I'm about to release. So, will it play? Will it play? Will it play? This is. Here we go. Come on, play for me.
This is Rarities X Zoom to
Yeah.
volume.
I want that as my theme song now.
I want that as my ringtone.
It could be.
She wants that as her theme song.
That's that can be your theme song, Young Man Blues, man. I
Yeah.
tell you what, we used to go.
It goes crazy.
We used to go so nuts. John used to say, if the Who was Keith Moon's band, it would have been a Beach Boys band. If it was Roger's band, it would have been a country western band. Pete's band, it would have been jazz, but
Don's
his
would have
band
been-
would have been Live at Leeds.
Yeah.
Would have been
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
man, when we used to play that shit after all those years, he tore that shit up.
He loved doing it.
He loved playing that. That was his favorite Who album, Live at Leeds. And we did that and Shaking All Over and the whole frickin' Tommy thing. It was, wow, it was pretty frickin' cool.
So that's a little taste of what's coming
Yeah,
up.
so that's a little taste. Just a
Nice.
little taste. First one's free.
It's how it
So
goes.
anyway.
All right, I'm
Mousy,
going to
you
go
around?
listen
I
to
gotta
some.
ask you
It's a Beautiful Day and some Pink Floyd. So for
Ah,
I'll.
God.
That's like a
Yeah.
perfect road mixtape for her.
Exactly.
Wait, don't forget Joni Mitchell.
Oh!
Oh, please. please. Yeah, that's it. She needs White Bird.
And Lenny thinks I have never heard Joni Mitchell. It's like, I understand she's a great songwriter. I have heard her because a good friend wanted to be her and played guitar and always sang Joni Mitchell songs. I just can't get next to her voice. It's like Bruce Springsteen or Bob Dylan to me. I can't stand it. But I know she writes some deep, good songs. I just can't listen to them.
And you know what? Barbara Streisand said that Joni Mitchell was one of the greatest singers of all time.
She's tone deaf.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, perhaps.
I don't
know
know
the thing is about Joni Mitchell, she's one of those people who had all these different phases. So there's people that know her as the, big yellow taxi person. There's people that know her as, but I really got into her when it was like her jazz days, when she was playing with
when Jocko was playing with
her.
her.
Exactly. And like Michael Brecker and Tom Scott and the LA Express. That's when I really got
Well,
into
you got to understand. Let me explain something. Go ahead. You can make food. I'll
Bye, everybody. I got to go make food.
Bye, Laura.
Let me explain something to you about my wife. Why jazz is not a part of her repertoire. Because she's from New Orleans.
I don't like spicy food either.
What?
Or the blues.
What? Well, you're giving me the blues.
Whoa!
Oh!
Yeah, you're gonna be getting the blues for a while.
I'm very excited to be. I get to cook for everybody this weekend because we have rehearsal on Sunday in our house studio. So I get to cook for Tiny and everybody from Molly.
Oh, right. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm planning.
Take pictures. Pictures, we need pictures.
Oh, okay, okay, for sure.
All right, well, and you're around, I got to call you about something anyway.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm around.
And so there you go, kids.
On that happy note.
On that
Steve,
happy note.
I will see you at the end of the month.
Oh, that's right. Oh, come on down. Don Hirschfeld, come on down.
Our tickets are booked. We're coming down.
Oh, wow,
I can't wait to
cool.
see you, bro. That'll be fantastic.
Looking forward to it.
I really will. Joe, when are you coming down?
As soon as I can.
Okay, good answer.
Hey, Eugene Levy signed on to do as a recurring character in the next season of Only Murders in the Building.
Really?
Yep, it's going to be great.
And he was on Curb. Was he on Curb this week? Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I didn't watch this week.
I think he was on Curb this week.
Well,
Really?
his son was.
The son.
Yeah.
Eugene's son. What is his name?
Daniel.
Right.
Yeah, Daniel Lev, but he plays David on Schitt's
Right,
Creek.
Schitt's Creek.
Ew.
Unbelievable.
He's
All right,
brilliant.
kids. Yeah, I'm gonna go find out what that smell is.
All right, children
And,
of home, we
Bye,
love you.
everybody.
Yeah, Mousy, I'll give you a ring either tomorrow
Whatever.
or whatever.
I'm here.
We'll catch up. Joe, always good to see you, brother.
Same here.
Big
Love you
Don,
guys.
thanks for the
Take care,
tip on the
everybody.
cats. And if I'll see you.
Yes. If you need anything transferred, maybe when I see you at the end of the month.
Oh, believe me. Wait till
Yeah.
you see my suitcase full of dats.
He's going to ask you to transfer money into his bank account.
Yeah, you want to transfer something, man. You don't need to be here.
Wait a minute.
It's
I had,
all
a
good.
friend,
Venmo.
I had a friend who used to go like, "Hey, wait a minute. Where's that money I owe you?"
You know, let me give you a good piece of advice, okay?
Please.
If you're going to borrow money, borrow from a pessimist because they don't expect to get it back.
Nice.
On that happy note,
Bye.
Bye.
Peace. Love.
go.
That's all she wrote, kids. I hope you had a good time tonight. I'm going to get beat to death with a spoon. She's not in here now. I'm on my own. I can keep flying the ship for as long as I want, but I'm not gonna because I know the rules. But we love you guys, and so glad you're all here every week, and this just feels so weird. I'm like alone, and say something, Law! That's all you get. If I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture. Have a good time, kids. See ya. Get away from me with that spoon! Dogs swimming in space.